Hello, beautiful singers. This is Valerie White Williams and Vocal Splendor Studios. And today I would like to talk to you about what makes a singer bad. I hate to call bad singers bad, but truly sometimes people are struggling. And of course, reality TV and these other places mock people, but I've seen from watching videos online about people teaching themselves to sing, and they're doing a really noble effort, but they don't understand that certain qualities cause other people to think they're bad. And the other people I'm talking about are the musicians and the instrumentalists that are going to hopefully work with you or hear you sing. Because I think with singers, when they're developing their voice, especially on their own, they don't always have a perspective of what really works in the real world. So I'm hoping that this will help you, and I don't want to discourage those of you that want to learn to teach yourself, but I want you to also be aware of what qualities people are looking for when they think of being a good singer, or qualities what makes you a bad singer. So I have a list of things that I'd like to talk about what makes a singer bad. And really quickly before I get into that, I am accepting students online currently. I just left Seattle after teaching there for years, and I moved into a smaller place a little bit further out of the Seattle area, and I am looking forward to be able to work with people all over the world as I have on Skype and FaceTime. I have found it to be a really remarkable way to work with a voice teacher, way more effective than I've ever thought of. And I am not as expensive as some of the LA, New York teachers, but I can get you the same results. So if you're interested, go to my website and find my contact information and send me a message or a text. All right, so let's talk about what makes a singer bad. All right, so number one thing I think bad singing tends to have, or the worst offender, I will say, is not singing in tune. Okay, this is not an optional thing. You have to sing in tune. If you go out of tune, whether you are the melody is way off, or it goes flat or sharp, or it just gets sour. It sounds like a sour apple, and it just instantly will go bad. It doesn't matter if you have vibrato or you have a nice tone. If you cannot sing in tune, it's bad. We want to hear in tune singing. Now, I know today the standards are really low for singers. You can look like a model and they'll auto-tune you, or they'll do other sort of mixing with another singer to give you a better tone. But truly, if you want to perform without the effects of technology, like the little robots, then you need to learn to sing in tune. There are ways you can learn to sing in tune. First of all, if you are going to try and sing for yourself, don't always sing a cappella, because you have nothing to listen to. And singers are not just singing a cappella by themselves when they perform. They have to listen to the backing track, or they need to listen to the other musicians. So by practicing along with the track and recording yourself, you're going to be more aware of where you have pitch issues. So pitch issues come in two different ways. You didn't learn the song right, and you're making up the wrong notes because you don't hear the melody. Or two, you're out of tune, which you're not staying in tune with the song. You're getting flat or sharp is what we call it. So we want to rectify that. You can also work on just learning ear training. That is a course that people take at college, and there's ways you can develop your pitch and understanding the intervals, which I will talk about in some later video. But let me stress, if it's out of tune, it's bad, period. In fact, I'll say one more thing about that, because it is so important. I've had many students audition for group choir events or any kind of audition that's audio only. Guess what the first cut is? Out of tune. If you're out of tune, you're out. Done. Doesn't matter how good your voice is. You're done. So you must sing in tune to be a good singer. All right, let's talk about number two. Number two is not staying in the rhythm. A lot of beginning and teach yourself singers will it's like driving a car where you're stopping and you're going forward and then you're stopping, and it's jittery because the tempo isn't consistent. So the tempo is the beat of the song, and the beat of the song needs to be honored. So if you're going to go rush really, really fast in the fun part, or you're going to slow down at the hard part, then it's not going to be coherent. It's not going to be together. Unless you're singing a cappella ballad with a lot of control, we need to have that pacing. And so rushing or slowing down or somehow not jiving with the beat is a sign of bad. And no one wants to hear that. In fact, my husband is a drummer. You may have not known that. So we used to have this ongoing fun argument. What's worse, a singer who's out of tune or a singer who can't groove and the rhythm's awful? Okay, that's like a question that has no answer. It really depends. But again, if you cannot sing the rhythm, you speed up and slow down, you're gonna have a real problem singing with another band, other musicians, and it's gonna be bad. So keep in tempo, learn to sing with the groove. All right. Okay, let's talk about number 3. Number 3 singing, and maybe this is more to me, but I think we all feel that way, is when a singer is singing a song, but there's absolutely zero connection with the lyric. Either they're completely stone-faced and they're singing something that's supposed to be happy, but they sound like this, or they're like super cheesy, everything's like this. So in either case, the message of the song isn't getting through. Either there's completely stone-faced, no connection to the lyric, or they're more about posing and looking cool than they are the lyric. In either way, the focus is more on their voice and trying to sound good than actually making an emotional statement. I don't care what song it is. You could be singing about partying, or you could sing about someone left you, but whatever it is, you need to go in yourself and find a way to be believable. You need to be an actor, either act that emotion out so it's believable, or you need to go deep within your own self and find some meaning in the text so you can be believable. Because no one wants to see a singer not connecting. And usually you go, they sound good, but I just am not feeling it. And that is bad, because singing involves a story, it involves a text, and we cannot ignore that if you want to be a good singer. So it behooves you to find songs, not just that you like, but with a story that you can relate to and that you can tell honestly, or at least give the impression of honesty, but you need to communicate the text, and it has to be done in an authentic way. So that's number 3. Okay, so let's talk about number 4. This is another thing regarding the text. I just uploaded another video on vowel modification. And so with the text, sometimes singers sound bad because they're garbling the language. And the language of singing, especially in English, is very consonant heavy. We have lots of R's and L's, and we have lots of ending consonants, and we have diphthongs. It's a minefield. And so because when we sing, we are holding out vowels, sometimes getting those R's in, or the diphthongs get all twangy, and the vowels don't sound right, then singers sound clumsy. And they have a great voice, and they're singing in tune, they have the rhythm, they're all the other things I talked about, but there's a clumsiness because the diction is garbled. So that's another spot where you can fix it. In fact, I call that my easiest fix. Cleaning up diction is fast. You just have to know what to do and how to do it. So that's a quick fix, but just listen to it. Watch my videos on R's and L's, diphthongs, and my new one on vowel modification, and see if you can find ways you can clean up your diction, because that will make things sound so much better. The other thing that makes a singer sound bad is attempting to do all these vocal runs. Vocal runs does not make you a great singer. And so I hear people attempting runs all the time. Everybody wants to be Mariah Carey and Christina Aguilera. But the thing about runs is that that is one of the fastest ways to make you look amateur, because the runs are not singing. They're supposed to be an embellishment. And an embellishment is supposed to mean something. If you're just showing off how many embellishments you can do in one song, then it's, again, all about you. It's a big gratifying, egotistical display. I sometimes call this diarrhea of the mouth, because singers are just splatting out a bunch of nothing, showing off, not very well. And then the melody, again, as I talked about everything in before, the melody and the meaning of the song is completely lost. Now, the great artists will riff judiciously. Riffing is like a spice. You want to add just a little touch, and ideally you want the riffing to mean something, meaning you're embellishing a key word or a key concept, or you're coming around the verse chorus again the last time, and you're going to add a little more emotional spunk to it and a little more meaning, but it should be judiciously. In fact, one of my favorite singers, she says, just don't. You know what? Don't riff. Aubrey Logan, check out her music and her things. She's great. Just don't riff unless you're super, super good, or just a little dab will do ya. But again, trying to riff over and over and over and over every time, what you can do is fancier, is usually not very good, and it just should be avoided unless you really know what you're doing, and then you won't use it too much. All right, so let's talk about the last thing that makes singers sound bad, and this is one that's going to be a little controversial, but I have to say it, and that is when singers, often classically trained singers, will try and sing contemporary music, whether it's jazz, pop, R&B, and they bring in their opera voice to everything, and it's all, fly me to the moon and let me sing on the stars. Okay, that's not okay, and it doesn't translate that way, and thankfully I'm starting to lecture to some voice teachers to talk about the differences, but contemporary music doesn't necessarily have the legato line, it doesn't sing in the head voice, and modern music is way more rhythmic. So if you're going to sing that music, please have respect for it. Here's the deal. Some of the best ways to learn to be a better singer is to listen. Listen to the artists. If you want to sing a genre that's not your home plate, listen to a whole bunch of people. Listen to what they're doing. Notice they're not singing in their high voice. They're singing in a different key. They're using their voice a different way. They're more syncopated. So just because classical singing has been taught to be the echelon of vocal art doesn't mean people with that training can naturally slum in these lower levels of music. That really offends me, and it probably offends you, but unfortunately you're not understanding that to succeed in these other genres takes just as much skill and training, sometimes more, just a different way of approaching it. So here's my tips. You want to learn to sing, train your ear, train your groove, study the lyrics, sing songs that you can relate to, that you can honestly tell the story. Use riffs judiciously if you feel you must, and honor the style of singing that you are singing, and study and learn what are the historic or traditional ways of using the voice. Let me know how you fixed your own bad singing. I would love to hear about it. Let me know. Thank you so much for the likes, subscribes, and the comments. If you like this content, don't be afraid to click on the bell and click subscribe so you get all of my uploads notified to you. Thank you so much, and sing on.